Daily Top Reddit for Tuesday, 2023, August 1st. In r/NoStupidQuestions to American people, is it disrespectful or rude to not stand up during the national anthem if I'm a tourist? Last night I went to a baseball game in California. Apparently it was military day or something like that. I love baseball. Was my first game. During the national anthem, me and my girlfriend, we got caught off guard when everybody stand up when the anthem started. We had our hands full with our drinks and food. We just kept sitting down, not really saying anything. But we immediately started to feel that people were staring at us, shaking their heads. It felt uncomfortable AF. When the anthem ended, a lot of people in the stands just started looking at us. A full section of people just looking like we stole something. Some of them yelled things. The lady next to me said, "What's wrong with you?" One person said, "Please have some respect," among other things. Really made us feel really uncomfortable and unwelcome when we didn't mean to disrespect people like that. Lasted a couple of minutes, but made the game feel awkward at the begging. I did learn my lesson and stand up in God Bless America though. Is it that bad to do that? I'm not American. Edit. For the people sending ugly messages, just to clarify, it was my first game with GF. I know I didn't express that correctly in my post. Also, the other times I went never got on time to the national anthem. I remember going to the old stadium and as far as I remember didn't get any shit like my last game. I'm still curious, as I don't want to disrespect people. I don't know if that changes anything of my original question. Some of the messages I have received are ridiculous, borderline toxic nationalism. I didn't want to make a riot between left versus right, or whatever it's going on in your country. I'm just an outsider, asking a question. Sort it out yourselves. I don't want to take part on this fight as the United States, it's not my country. And every nation has some tense between people. I'm no one to judge what's going on, as this doesn't not affect my life. I was asking a question and got my answer. I will definitely stand up next time out of respect. Edit 2. People are going to my latest comments and replying that I kill myself. Also, a lot of unread messages about that are atrocious. Seriously, people. I came here with an observation question. I was left again with the same impression I felt in the game. You are into some North Korea, China, Russia shit. I don't know how can you even have to get to critique those regimes when a simple question makes you so fucking angry that you tell me to kill myself. Go back to my country, wish BTW. I'm already back in my country. Never come back. I'm not generalizing. I'm sure there's plenty of sane people in America, but some of you are drinking that nationalism Kool-Aid no different from a dictatorship. Your post made me laugh because I have been in this exact situation. Except I was an exchange student and not a tourist. We were at a basketball game at my campus, and when the national anthem started playing, I couldn't decide if I should stand up or not, and made a split-second decision not to. 30 seconds and a few nasty looks later, I realized I probably should have, but randomly standing up in the middle of it would have felt even more awkward, so I just sat through the whole thing. So if I ever happen to be in that situation again, I'll just stand up, haha. But I try to view it as a learning experience and comfort myself by thinking that nobody but me probably remembers it. In r/today I learned till that the lowest recorded Gallup Poll presidential approval rating is from Harry Truman, who reached 22% during the Korean War. This was due in large part to Truman deciding to relieve General Douglas MacArthur of command due to his desire to use nuclear weapons to win the war. The Wikipedia article is a little too vague on this. Truman relieved him because MacArthur violated the chain of command, not because he wanted to use nukes. After Truman refused MacArthur's proposal, that should have been the end of it. Instead, MacArthur continued to push the idea outside of the chain of command and undermined Truman as commander-in-chief. In stark terms, Truman paid the price for reaffirming one of the core principles of the Constitution, that ultimate control of the military is in the hands of an elected civilian. Sadder still is that the majority of Americans in the immediate aftermath of to mind you, sided with the military strongman. In r/NoStupidQuestions, are there any straight men out there who actually prefer the look of lip injections on women? I'm not sure why I'm so bothered by this trend, but I look at so many beautiful women I've known prior to their lip injections and I just think they look so much better before. I see pictures of them beside females with no lip injections and they have 4x the size of the natural lips of the other women. It reminds me of caricatures. Are there any straight men out there who can say they find lip injections sexier than natural lips and it's a physical trait that you're attracted to? AITAH 1. I'm not speaking of the ones where you can't tell because it looks so natural or proportionate. I'm talking about the ones that are intentionally going for the puckered look. 2. Of course, whatever makes the woman happy is what matters also. I know a lot of women do it for themselves or other women, but that's not the point of the post. 3. Yes, some women may have naturally very thin lips and they want them to look more proportional. However, there's something about women who looked perfect before and there was a beauty standard that made them feel that their lips were not enough and they need enhancements. And now, it's what so many women think is better than natural-sized lips. 4. I'm asking straight men as I had a shower thought about the women who get these enhancements to attract the opposite sex and wondered how many men this actually works for. Not trying to exclude the diverse population or create a narrow discussion. Was just curious the percentage of men that like the look or if it's mainly just women who like it. If I can tell, then I do not like them. If I can't tell, well then I accept it as her face. In r/oddlysatisfying, Hogwarts has revealed cookies. I'm saving this under the cool stuff I'll never do category. In r/politics, Megathread, Trump indicted on third set of charges, this time related to the January 6th attack and associated efforts to overturn the 2020 presidential election. On Tuesday, former president and current frontrunner for the 2024 Republican presidential nomination Donald Trump was indicted by a federal grand jury in Washington, D.C. Source, Associated Press. The charges include conspiracy to defraud the United States, conspiracy to obstruct an official proceeding, obstruction of and attempt to obstruct an official proceeding, and conspiracy against rights. You can read the full indictment for yourself here at Courtless Dinner. These charges stem from one of two separate investigations into Trump being conducted by Special Counsel Jack Smith for the U.S. Department of Justice. The first investigation is into the apparent mishandling of highly classified documents after Trump had departed office. This resulted in 37 felony charges being made public on June 9th of this year, with 3 additional, related charges added last week. Today's charges stem from the second investigation headed by Smith, which is into the January 6, 2021 attack on the U.S. Capitol and associated efforts within the Trump administration to illegally overturn Joe Biden's victory in the 2020 presidential election. The aforementioned investigations into Trump are a separate matter from Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg's inquiry, which in April resulted in an indictment on 30 for counts of falsification of business records. According to Bragg, Trump was part of a scheme to catch and kill negative information about himself before and after the 2016 election via hush money payments made via the Trump Organization. Still outstanding are the results of a fourth probe being conducted by Fani Willis, the district attorney for Fulton County, Georgia. That probe is into Trump and others' efforts to overturn Georgia's 2020 presidential election results. An announcement related to Dow Willis probe is expected sometime later in August. Submissions that may interest you. CNN saying a judge was just assigned Obama appointee and has handed out some of the harshest sentences for January 6 cases to date. AITAH, here's an article the AP wrote about Judge Tanya Chutkan last year. In r/news, Trump charged by Justice Department for efforts to overturn his 2020 presidential election loss. Reading the indictment is wild. At one point, Trump called the egg and deputy egg and tried to get them to override the election for him. Then told them to just declare it to be fraudulent and let him and the Republican congressman handle it. He did this twice, and on the second time threatened to fire the egg for not agreeing. He then attempted to replace him with one of the co-conspirators, twice. He first sent the co-conspirator to fire the egg, who rejected the attempt, then in a meeting with the egg and the co-conspirator. Trump tried to fire him and stopped when he was told the DOJ would see mass resignations if he did. He and his co-conspirators were damn near outlining the crimes to each other in fucking emails and texts and talking about it in front of witnesses who weren't even really in on it. In r/Black People Twitter, it's a Barbie world. P. Callan Bayron J. Callan Barron, did you dislike how Ken was portrayed? Did it make you uncomfortable to see his identity tied solely to his perceived romantic interest and that he was only validated when seen through her gaze? You're really close to realizing something big, sweetie. Keep going. Everyone loves Ken in the Barbie movie to the point he's overshadowing Margot's incredible performance. The archetypal male protagonist is still like Ken, where they do things for female attention. The difference is those protagonists have more to do than just beach. The trope subversion isn't that Ken is shoehorned into the typical female love interest role, it's that Barbie is completely uninterested in him. In r/mildly infuriating air quality test from My Airbnb where the host claimed not to smell any mold control test on top, support refused my refund. Some added details. Checked in late at night, whole place reeked of mold. Tried to sleep, woke up a few hours later with awful allergies, and checked into a hotel. Host denied the issue. Support offered an $8 refund for the entire 30-night stay I had paid for. After complaining to support, they asked for doctor's notes and a ton of other evidence which I provided. They denied my refund, claiming the doctor's note didn't describe any lab tests, they didn't ask for any, and because they couldn't confirm where the mold tests came from, I had videos collecting the tests. Luckily, my credit card was happy to do a chargeback with all the evidence. To address common comments. These are mold armor tests sold at most hardware stores. I bought them after Airbnb refused to return any of my 30-day deposit. They will almost always grow at least some mold. However, the quantity and diversity of colonies as compared to the control is reasonably concerning. The lab results of these tests will give more information given that I had a documented allergic reaction after just a few hours. It's likely that there are harmful strains present. The control sample was collected directly outside the apartment. This was just one of the many pieces of evidence I gave to support. There were many other signs of water damage and neglected repairs throughout the unit which led to the poor air quality. In r/to hot takes, am I wrong for being turned off by my S after finding out they have a porn addiction? I'm a 20-YOF with a 20-YOM and we've been together for 2.5 years now. We had incredible sex every single day multiple times a day, but halfway through the first year I ended up finding out he was watching porn basically every day. Which upset me only because hey, I thought we were already having enough sex. I understand having a high sex drive, but if I just left and we just did it, then you're immediately watching porn. It's like, did I do my part? I expressed my discomfort and he said he would stop, only he didn't and just ended up hiding it, which I found and caught every single time. Within the second year, he had officially stopped watching, but he still continued to look at naked women on social media, and I just felt like that was his alternate for masturbation instead of porn. But regardless, it is still lusting over another woman, which I expressed I did not like. He has finally stopped looking, but I'm not convinced, and it has completely ruined our sex life. I am turned off by the idea of him masturbating with or without visual stimulation, not saying he can't. Just expressing discomfort. I can't even have sex without thinking about all the history of women I've seen because they especially look nothing like me. It is now to the point that we barely have sex, not even once a week, because I have to be mega turned on, or else the idea of sex with him just disgusts me. At this point, should I even be in this relationship? Edit. I would like to mention that we have tried watching porn together both to masturbate and also during sex. We both found it to be uncomfortable. He has told me continuously that he will stop and doesn't want to keep hurting me, but then he goes lengths to hide it. He has purchased OnlyFans, porn subscriptions, and live cams. He has cheated on me signing up for dating sites. Though now I don't catch him watching porn. He instead watches videos of women naked on social media, which to me determines that the reason he watches is for the women. So yes, I'm going to feel uncomfortable with it. I'm not saying he can't find another person attractive. I'm saying why the F are you with me if you'd rather jerk off to porn when I'm literally in the bed next to you? Not enough. Imagine your boyfriend basically begging you to go grab food and insists on staying home. Then you don't, so he claims to go in the shower, but you walk in and catch him watching porn literally in the shower. So that's why he wanted me to leave. If the thought of sex with him disgusts you, you need to leave. In r/mids hole, AITAH for causing a fight with my girlfriend because she sanitizes her menstrual cup in the kitchen pots we use to cook. My 32M girlfriend 30F started using a menstrual cup about 2 years ago. Since then, we've had one recurring argument regarding cleaning of the menstrual cup. To sanitize the cup, she uses the same kitchen pots that we also use to make food. I am not comfortable with this. I've communicated my discomfort multiple times, but she hasn't stopped because she is not convinced of my arguments and insists that there's nothing tacitly wrong and hygienic with boiling a menstrual cup in a kitchen pot. I've proposed investing in a separate small pot which I'm happy to buy that she can use to boil non-food items, including the menstrual cup. However, every time I suggest this, she gets upset. She's called me a hypocrite because I have no issues with oral S**X, including when she's on her period with the menstrual cup, but I make a big deal when she just wants to clean the cup for her own safety. I could buy a new pot, but I don't trust that she would use it. In the past, I compromised and asked her to use only one designated pot for the cup even though it was a kitchen pot. She agreed. Unfortunately, multiple times, she didn't use the designated pot. When I communicate that this is upsetting for me, she repeats the same arguments and emphasizes that the cup is already rinsed and cleaned with soap before it gets in the pot and that I'm being an for making her feel bad. Perhaps I'm wrong for feeling uncomfortable with this, but I just hate that when we have guests we prepare food in the same pots. We cook meals for my friends and relatives in the same pots. We also come from different cultures, hers more open than mine when it comes to such topics, so maybe that's why we can't see this from the same viewpoint. Today I noticed that she is sanitizing her cup again, but it's not in the designated pot. I'm feeling angry and I just feel that if I bring it up again, her will have another argument or she'll say I'll use the designated pot but then keep on using other pots when I'm not around. So Reddit, help me out before I cause another argument. AITAH in this situation. And I have a tip for you, your GF. As a user of a menstrual cup myself, I recently found out that there are special plastic cups designed for sanitizing them. You put the cup inside, fill it with water, and microwave it until the water boils. Works perfectly for me, and I don't have to use any kitchenware. Amazon.com link. In r/white people Twitter, he finally speaks. Mike Pence at Mike Pence, 17 meters. Today's indictment serves as an important reminder. Anyone who puts himself over the Constitution should never be President of the United States. 01648 woe of 14,782. I show more replies. Mike Pence at Mike Pence minus 17 meters. Our country is more important than one man. Our Constitution is more important than any one man's career. On January 6th, former President Trump demanded that I choose between him and the Constitution. I chose the Constitution, and I always will. On TQ39Q0174 high 21.2K4. But I'll still vote for him because I'm a Republican. In r/white people Twitter, well said. Luke Zaleski at Zaleska Luke, there is no deep state. Trump lost. Vaccines work. Elon is a right-wing oligarch. Taxes help pay for things we all need and use as a society. Politicians lie. Trump lies more than any other U.S. politician. His big lie is the basis for the insurrection. Trump incited the J6 attack, 11:14 a.m. to July 30th, 23 from Earth, 467K views 681 retweets, 346 quotes, 19.2K likes, 133 bookmarks, 1 at Tago. I am Lindy at Carolyn Q to 4067201 1D. If the vaccines worked, why did I get COVID? 07715 QD 399 L 9355 Ray. In r/what s this bug jumped into my mother's nose in their 15 minutes before she pulled it out. Doctor time. Seems to be fully intact. Obviously grossed out, but wondering how quickly we need to get her to a doctor. It's huge for being inside a nose, and was in there for a good 15 minutes while she was distracted with bringing in groceries, which is likely what it jumped off of. What is this bug? Am I reading this right? She was too distracted to notice it was in her nose while she was bringing in groceries. If so, how do you know it jumped up there and was in there for 15 minutes? Good question. She was on the phone while her and her friend were bringing in groceries. She said she felt something hit the inside of her nose and she swatted at it but didn't think anything of it. Like when a mosquito buzzes right into your ear and it feels like it's in your ear with how loud it sounded, but it likely just flew away or you killed it. Then she sits down after 15 minutes or so of multitasking distraction. Then she feel like something is in her nose. Starts picking at it, blowing, and eventually grabs hold of this and pulls it out. For what it's worth, I can confirm the nose picking and general timeline. We were actually on a Teams call together and I was texting her saying, WTF, why are you picking your nose? You know you're on camera, right? In r/TikTok cringe, hundreds of migrants sleeping on midtown Manhattan sidewalks as shelters hit capacity. With 90K plus migrants arriving in NYC since last spring, up to 1,000 per day, costing approximately $8 million a day.
I'm a reporter in New York City, and this is what I'm covering this Monday morning. I took this video at around 4:30 this morning outside the Roosevelt Hotel in Manhattan on 45th Street. This is actually on 46th Street, but I'm just showing on this side to show the line of migrants that are sleeping on the sidewalk. Now, these are asylum seekers. They arrived in New York City a couple of days ago, hoping to get processed at the Roosevelt Hotel. Now, this was an iconic hotel. It's been in movies, but it shut down about 3 years ago and reopened earlier this year as an intake center for asylum seekers. hours. Now, this weekend, they were at capacity, so these migrants were left to sleep on the sidewalk. You can see the only thing separating them from the concrete is cardboard. Except for these folks here, you can see them sleeping right on the concrete, right on the sidewalk directly. If you've been following news out of New York City, you know that this isn't new. This has been happening for the past couple of months. There have been more than 93,000 asylum seekers that have arrived here in the city since the spring. Officials have said that this migrant crisis is costing the city billions of dollars, at least $4 billion, and Mayor Eric Adams is asking for more federal help.
Winter is coming. In r/damn that's interesting. I just inherited an 1864 Steinway and Sons style 1 rococo grand piano. For us folks out of the piano community, what's Butte like that run? $80,000, $90,000. Edit, my first appraisal may have been a bit too conservative for the current market. More like $110,000, $125,000. In r/white people Twitter, does anyone actually believe all his BS? GM Evan Isadi SJ, oh my fucking god, Musk University I quotes at mu. When I was, I don't know, 5 or 6 or something, I thought I was insane because it was clear that other people, their minds weren't exploding with ideas all the time. Elon Musk at X at EL Owen Musk minus 31 meters, yeah. Elon Musk at X at EL Owen Musk minus 301. There is a downside to this. My internal mental torture is high 8:07 p.m. minus 31 July 23rd to 1 and views. Yeah, not everyone can come up with the brilliant idea of buying a company for $44 billion and within a year turning it into a garbage fire worth less than half and continuing to sink like a rock. In r/funny, parents couldn't hear each other talk and left their son's friend confused. Mom and dad couldn't hear each other.
Hey buddy, sorry, Jada's not here today.
Well, he left his helmet.
Okay, can you just leave it there at the door?
Hey, don't leave it there. Just take it home with you. And then
Have a good day.
When we get home tonight, I'll send him over and he can play with y'all and you can get it to him then, okay? Yeah, because I don't want somebody else to steal it.
No, you can just leave it there at the door.
I can have him play with you later and you can give it to him then, okay?
So I'm leaving it here?
Yeah.
No, don't leave it there. Take it home with you.
Thank you.
I don't want anybody to steal it.
No, you can just leave it there, buddy. Just leave it at the front door.
I'll get it from you later, okay?
This perfectly sums up my professional life. In r/MID asshole, AITAH for telling my BF that his exes faked their orgasms. I've F24 been with my boyfriend M24 for going on 2 years now. Before I dated him, I only had one other sexual partner. My boyfriend has had around 10, a few ex-girlfriends and other casual sex partners. Ours is the longest relationship that he or I have ever been in anyway. The other day he and I were talking about things we like in bed, stuff we wanted to try, etc. And he mentioned that he doesn't think we're 100% sexually compatible. This concerned me because as far as I could tell, we have a great sex life. He said one of his favorite things about sex is being able to make his partner orgasm, particularly through penetration. And I can't do that. Now, let me just say, my boyfriend makes me orgasm, usually through oral, or he'll use a vibrator on me, or I'll use one while doing penetration, etc. Point is, he makes me come and I'm very satisfied with him. I don't have a lot to compare him to, but he's definitely better than my last partner Law. But he told me that all his previous girlfriends were able to come from penetration. I tried telling him most girls can't come from penetration alone, so it's not like I'm weird. And he said he did not believe me. It's just that his previous partners could do it. He still likes having sex with me. He just wishes I could do that too because it's really hot. Anyway, I went to my OBGYN a couple days later and asked her about it because I felt kind of insecure and told her his previous partners could come from penetration. She basically interrupted me and said they were faking it. Most women cannot come from penetration alone and need clitoral stimulation as well. They also often feel pressure in the moment to have an orgasm to satisfy their partner, which was most likely the case. So fast forward to last night, we were talking, and I told him what my gynecologist said, that it's normal for women to not be able to orgasm from penetration alone, to need clitoral stimulation, and it's likely that his previous partners, at least some of them, fake their orgasms to make him feel better. He was pretty put off by this and accused me of saying he was bad in bed, and I have no idea whether these girls actually faked it or not. He would have been able to tell if they did. I said no, he couldn't because I faked it once and he never knew. It was one time only, very early in our relationship. He was going down on me for a while and while it felt good, my head wasn't in it at the time, so I just faked it. I haven't done it since and never will. This made him pretty upset and he went home instead of staying the night like he was supposed to. He hasn't answered my texts from this morning, and I just feel like I messed up. AITAH. Edit. Just got back from work a bit ago and I was shocked to see the attention this has gotten. I just wanted to say that the discussion this has started has been incredible and I truly appreciate everyone here who has reassured me that I'm not abnormal and that him comparing me to his exes was a really bad thing to do. That being said, I took everyone's criticism of me very seriously and I do agree that I could have, at the very least, phrased this differently. I will be apologizing because I shouldn't have used his exes against him, but he shouldn't have either, so I hope he will apologize, too. He texted back, "We're going to talk it out tomorrow and now I have a lot of feedback to work with, so thank you to everyone who commented. I'll keep trying to reply to people here and there." I'm pretty sure the figure is 20%. Like only 20% of women can come from penetration alone. So if he's had 10 partners, it would be pretty miraculous that all of them could law. In r/stupid food, tell me you don't know how to cook without telling me you don't know how to cook.
I've got 3 eggs. 1, 2, 3. Right in bacon. My breakfast is complete without bacon. Bacon goes right into oil. Deep fried breakfast, y'all. I'm from Mississippi originally. We fry everything. Sausage. I'm just going to squeeze some sausage out in my hand.
Okay.
Make a little patty. Nice thick patty there. And then this one is going to go right into the oil as well. Just like that. You got to have biscuits. You cannot have breakfast without biscuits. Yay, we did it.
All right.
Now, yes, you can deep fry biscuits. I've done it before. These are the nice flaky biscuits.
I love those.
It goes right in. What do you want? 2 biscuits? You can get
2 biscuits. I like 2, yeah.
Okay, 2 biscuits. 1 for each of us. And then drop it right in. This is going to cook so fast. I'm going to go ahead and flip my egg. Now, these are basically a version of fried eggs, obviously. And our bacon is looking nice. Look at that. Biscuits are already turning brown. How's our sausage doing? Yep. Look at that. Sausage is turning brown. Now we're going to add a little bit of seasoning. Add a little bit of salt.
Okay.
It's right on top of the egg mostly. And on the bacon. I love to salt my bacon. Now, the secret ingredient for this is soy sauce. But it's important that you don't get too much. I need a precise amount. All right? I'm going to get just my little measuring tool, a half a tablespoon, okay? Half a tablespoon. Just Drop that in. You know what? We're going to do this way. Half a tablespoon. You don't want to have too much because this is very high in sodium and it will ruin the recipe if you have too much. So we're going to add half a tablespoon.
And you don't want that on the biscuits, but you want it on the
you just
eggs.
kind of put it on the
I
egg.
see.
And in the oil. In the oil.
Got it.
There we go. Pepper. We got to get some pepper in there. Fresh ground pepper. Beautiful. All right, look at the biscuits. Look at how good they look.
Yeah.
It's working, y'all. Bacon, and I'm actually going to try this. I'm actually going to test this one out. I'm excited to taste test it and see how good it turns out. Looks like our bacon is almost done. I'm most excited for the eggs. Do you think that we'll have runny yolks with this, or do you think it'll end up being...
I think it's going to cook the yolks all the way through.
So it'll be like you like them, nice and crispy. I'm going to flip my egg a little bit. There we go.
Ooh, look at that.
This is going to be great. You think 2 biscuits is enough
I
for
think
this?
2 biscuits looks great.
I've got this on medium heat.
Now, are those eggs the brown eggs or the white eggs?
That's a very good question. We have 2 different kinds of eggs here. I used the white eggs for this one.
Okay.
But I wonder if that was a mistake because brown eggs are supposedly more healthy for you.
Yeah. This looks like a healthy breakfast.
So maybe I should have used the brown eggs and that would have added more of the healthy stuff to balance it out. But you know, there's a lot of protein. We've got our sausage and our bacon and our eggs. They're all loaded with protein. But let me know in the comments, guys. I read all the comments. We're live. We like to hear from you. Tell us where you're from in the comments. And do me a favor and answer the question about the eggs. Why are brown eggs considered better for you than white? And while we're at it, why are they more expensive? They cost more.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But they're the same, right? I don't know. Somebody tell me in the comments. All right, I think our biscuits are almost done. The eggs are browning nicely. The bacon looks great.
Bacon
Look at that sausage! Oh my gosh!
I wanted you to cut that sausage. I wanted
We're gonna
cook all the way through.
cut it in half. I wonder if I could make a sandwich actually with all of this and just stack it and then cut it in half.
So good.
Have you ever had deep fried breakfast like this?
Never. I've never seen this before. Is this a common thing?
Yes, in the South, we definitely deep fry everything. And in fact, tell me in the comments what I should deep fry next. I really am curious of your thoughts on that. Bacon looks like it's almost done.
Yeah.
Got another important question. With bacon, do you like your bacon to be floppy? You like floppy bacon? Or do you like crispy bacon? Which do you prefer?
Okay, well today we're going to get, looks like...
Is it going to be crispy?
Right between there. It looks like a little floppy right there.
I bet the bacon's going to turn out great.
Oh, yeah.
I prefer crispy bacon, but you like yours floppy. So it always creates arguments in our house because we can never get the bacon just right. That sausage looks good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
All right, I think it's about time. I think we need a little bit more salt on the egg. Just a little. And hit it with a little bit more pepper. I like the fresh ground pepper. It's better for you. It's less processed. I think it's time to take it out. Look at the biscuits. The biscuits are done.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and take some biscuits out. Yeah. Got a biscuit there. Oh, that's going to be nice. Let's see. So why don't I take the bacon out? Or the egg?
I didn't take those bacons, but they're done, yeah. Pull those
Not
out.
bad.
No, they look
So
good.
this is kind of in the middle. I think this is going to be more your taste than mine. Because you like the floppy bacon, and I really do like it crispy.
All right. I think let's pull that sausage out. That's going to look great.
Right. Sausage. Let me go ahead and get the egg out. Let's see how that one did. Wow. Look at that, you guys. A southern deep fried breakfast. I think the sausage turned it out pretty good, didn't it?
Look at that, yeah.
Oops. Got away from it. All right, now we're going to cut it in half. What do you think? Let's move over here. And the question is, how is it going to taste? You guys are always telling me you want me to taste test it, so that's what we're about to do.
All right, give it a shot. That bacon looks so good.
It actually doesn't look bad. I hope it doesn't burn me. It's good.
Good bacon?
Not even lying, it's good. All right, the biscuit doesn't need a knife. We'll see the inside of the biscuit.
Ooh, that looks good.
Look at that. You guys, this is
Can I try a
delicious.
piece of
Yeah,
that?
yeah. Here, it's hot. Burn your fingers. Careful. It's good, isn't it?
Oh my God.
It's
I think
really-
that biscuit actually tastes better. It tastes better than normal biscuits.
Okay, what about the
Crazy.
egg? Okay, so our yolk is definitely
Now,
nice
the
and
egg,
cooked.
by the way, people are going to say that egg doesn't look good at all, but look at
Well,
you're
if you
gonna try
like
it.
crispy eggs,
Yeah.
then this is perfect.
Try that.
All right, I'm going to try it. We would like this. Try it.
Yeah, awesome. And last but not least, we got the sausage right there. Try that sausage.
All right, let's cut that in half.
Mm-hmm.
And this looks like a perfect medium sausage.
Yes.
If you like medium steak, then you got a nice medium sausage.
Oh, look at that.
Yummy!
Yes, looks good.
Salts the bacon law. In our / brand new sentence, Lizzo forced dancers to eat bananas from sex workers' vaginas during Amsterdam trip. Bombshell lawsuit by Francesca Bacardi August 1st. 2023 I-122 PM 3 of Lizzo's former dancers are suing her for allegedly creating a hostile work environment. That is a wild sentence. In our / made me smile, when a girl comes into your life. Wait, is this an AI Keanu Reeves? It's Keanu from Wish.com. The end. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day and hope to see you again tomorrow.